My track's going.
Bert! Alright, well, should we clap?
Yeah, we
Bert,
should clap.
Can you clap?
Alright. I don't know if cats can clap.
Can cats clap?
Can cats clap? My new children's
Alright.
book. Alright.
3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the dozenth episode of Trangirlismo. Dozenth normal one, that bonus is out there. I am your host, Victoria Scott. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, my name is Doran Hofstetter. My pronouns are she and her.
Yeah, welcome to the only automotive podcast that is brave enough to disrespect both Stellantis and the police. Which is an increasingly high-risk endeavor, given what I've seen ICE driving recently.
Hey, Victoria, name one automotive podcast that respects Stellantis. just throwing it out there. 'Cause oh god, I was running errands before the show. I made a mental note to keep this in the back pocket for when we hopped on today. I saw a Dodge Hornet broken down. Still had the dealer plates on it, but was pulled over, flashing and lightly smoking. And let me just tell you, that's what happens when you are the company that says yes and to, should we badge engineer an Alfa Romeo product for the American lower income market? What could go wrong?
Well, and you might ask, why would we disrespect the police on this podcast?
You must be new to being alive. It's your first day on Earth. Welcome to Trangirlismo.
The thing that specifically caught my eye this week is that Ram now sells a police pursuit rated variant of the 2500.
That's
the
Dodge
3/4 ton version.
I know.
So, there's the half ton, then there's the 3/4 ton, then the 1 ton. This is the version that you buy for hauling your boat to the reservoir on the weekends.
Or if you're the stereotype of most Dodge Ram owners, it's what you drive to your boyfriend's cabin in the woods.
Doing Brokeback Mountain, but the entire society you live in is that's totally fine. It's cool. You're just keeping it under wraps because you're internally doing it to yourself.
Yeah. In a society where no one really should be down low anymore, the last DL guys on Earth are all Ram drivers. They're all Dodge Ram drivers. I don't know how that works. Or Jeep Gladiator drivers if they're feeling a little extra fruity.
Where's the Wagoneer rank on the
No one buys it.
Urges?
No one has ever bought a Wagoneer with money. They're all
they're all rentals.
They're all either rentals.
They're all rentals, just directly handed. They take the keys, drop it in the Enterprise box. Enterprise picks up the keys, drops it in the whatever the local CBP field office vehicle rental offices.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's got to be hard now that we've stopped selling sedans in the US. We should have if we must have cops in this country, a dubious statement for a lot of us. I really just think that we should have just kept the Crown Victoria in service forever. Ford should still have a plant in Detroit pumping out 1,000 Crown Vics a day. We'll use them. Basically,
the operational strategy for Tesla, which has been to build the insane car for the company's entire existence, should actually be what Ford does for fleet vehicles. I mean, Chevy does it with the Express van. You can still go buy a 2026 version of the U-Haul van you had in 1998.
Do you want to forcibly regress yourself? Did you have a shitty childhood in the back of a lot of panel vans? Because your friends' parents were Mormons, and therefore...
that's a little less dark.
What did you think I was doing? I was talking about Mormons and having 14 kids, so you needed the panel van for the entire family. They're the exact same inside. They've never changed.
Yeah, well, and they're the exact same under the hood, too.
More cup holders than God, though.
That's true. The technology Volkswagen still hasn't learned with the ID Buzz, apparently.
I was in the back of a fucking ID4 as a Lyft the other day.
Did it have cup holders?
No! Or if I couldn't find them, there was like one weird one in the door pocket where it's like, oh, cool, if I have anything that doesn't have a lid, it's called, I'm about to spill this right into my fucking shoes. I want to fist, listener, the beautiful listener.
You might want to finish that sentence. You did say, I want to fist.
I want to fist fight the person who designed the interior of the ID4. Who I think is now been killed by the Volkswagen executives. I think they threw him off, like, I think they, like, crucified him in front of the factory. But I just, every time I'm inside one, I find a new thing to get pissed off by. And I think that's, in 2026, that's a miracle, right? Like,
well, I have good news, because as per our last episode, they're pausing production here, so.
So true. Anyways, I just, once again, that entire bit is to say, I am so sorry to our one very loyal listener who's been with us since episode 1, who has an ID4. I promise I'm never casting a moral judgment on your purchase of an ID4.
Look, I will never knock a vehicle if it is purchased in the deal zone, which from my understanding is how that listener got their ID4.
Understandable.
So, yeah. You know what's better than having a good car? Having a car that's cheap.
That's
a strategy
right.
I have abided by for my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on the topic of this 2500 Ram cop truck, the thing that was funny is, so I was reading about this, and it's actually like fully certified as a cop vehicle by Michigan State Police, which I guess does like a standardized battery of tests on like new pursuit vehicles. So they did take this 6,400 pound truck up to 103 miles an hour, where it is tire limited. Not like aero limited. It's just the tires are not rated to go faster than that.
I don't think it's good that it's good for like. This podcast does not endorse running from the cops, but you see those blues and twos behind you, and it's a Ram. All you got to do is go 104 miles an hour, and they cannot stop you. That's not fast. That's not like...
No, well, see, here's the thing, though, right? Is like, did you ever play Need for Speed? I'm thinking of Most Wanted, I think.
I'm a transsexual woman who is 30 years
Carbon.
old and does a car podcast. Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing, right? Is like, you own the Explorer Pursuit versions that can go faster for the Pursuit vehicles. What I assume this Ram 2500 is do you remember the NFS Rhino? The SUV that would kamikaze itself into your Lamborghini at 140 miles an hour? I believe that's what the purpose of this is.
So they should just sell it to, what is it? It's the Georgia PD, the Georgia State Troopers or whatever, who will post their fucking Call of Duty kill cam compilations of them, like,
I think that's like every southern state.
It's a lot of them. Yeah. It's too many of them, in the opinion of this podcast.
Yeah, but so they got up to 103 miles an hour. They performed 20 consecutive anti-lock brake engaging stops from 60 to 0 miles an hour. They didn't mention what the distance was, so I assume it was bad, but it can stop 20 times, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's just called the discs don't explode like they used to, because it's not 1984 anymore, Grandpa.
The funniest way to illustrate how big this thing is so it's got a 6.4 liter Hemi, producing 405 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque, because we're back in V8 country, baby. It's the badge of protest, is back on the Rams, because we live in America. That is good for an 8.5 second 0 to 60. Which is like, yeah, I guess if you're moving a small apartment building, that's pretty quick. But it's just funny to me that, like, now truck brainworm has infected police departments. And of course, like, the smart take on this is like, oh, rural departments need it because they can go off-roading for, like, search and rescue calls out in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
And to which I would say, Why does it need to do 103 miles an hour?
It does feel like a bunch of police captains somewhere watched Twisters and was like, I want a Hemi to run away from the fucking tornadoes. Like, I want that. And then it's just, this is how we get. Stellantis is just excited to sell something to someone. So they're like, oh,
they were like, ooh, fleets. We know how to sell to those still.
They woke a guy up at his desk and he's like, fleet sales? Oh, that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Yeah, so this joins the Dodge Durango Pursuit and the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Command Operations Vehicle in the Stellantis lineup of cop cars. Those are the actual names for them. There's your answer about who's buying Wagoneers. They are basically just abduction vehicles. In 20 years, people will look at the Jeep Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, and Wagoneer as people in Argentina do about the Ford Falcon during their years of fascism. When it was like, oh, you see a brown Ford Falcon? That car's probably, been part of killing dozens of dissidents.
Yeah, it's, that or, you know what the Jeep one screams to me? It screams the car you see idling outside a music festival or something. They're just designed to sit. Do you not
No, I never been to a music festival.
Right, vault times. So bands play music for a living.
Yes.
Sometimes a lot of them will gather over the course of one weekend.
Yes. I'm familiar with the concept.
Okay,
I just never.
All right. I just wanted look. Sometimes I'm not.
I
sure
played
with
Forza
you.
Horizon before. I know what music festivals look like.
And all of them start with Porter Robinson's language. Porter Robinson, there is still time. There is still time. It's fine. There's still time, Porter. And whatever the guy from Health is, there is still time. Had a dream that Andrew WK transitioned the other day.
That's insane.
Yeah, and she just put out an album of it was just that one album again. But it just, I was just like, oh, it's a good marketing scheme. Andrea WK. But anyways, my going to South by Southwest or ACL or whatever back in Austin, you would always just see the nicest police SUVs just parked at big entrance points, and they would just idle 24/7 for the length of the festival. And that's just nice. What these are gonna do.
Yeah, that's fair.
You get the Grand Wagoneer so your fucking chuddest highest in command could just be comfy while he plays Cookie Clicker on his phone or whatever. Cookie Clicker's maybe too woke. Candy Crush, there we go. The official mobile game of the NYPD.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I think sitting around idling is probably half of it. I think part of it is probably they also need to make sure they can box in and ram people so they can shoot them without cause. Because that's again that's the main purpose of ICE from what I can just surmise based on reading headlines. I will
we
say
should
though,
stop
if you're
you reading headlines.
No, you can never make me stop. If your police department is damn, a Ram 2500 isn't enough pickup truck for me, you can also buy an F-150 pickup truck. It's the F-150 Police Responder. You can't get the Lightning Cop truck anymore because we discontinued those, though.
There's no way.
Because they had one for a year. They had them for a year. Because they had a fleet version. They've got them at SeaTac as airport trucks. Not the cop version, just the regular fleet Lightning. And it's this is so brilliant. Of course you canceled this.
Yeah, the Lightning was too good for its own good. Because, none of the dealers wanted to sell it. Because then they can't do, they can't sell 100,000 mile, warranty package for it. But,
yeah,
you know.
I was reading about its discontinuation, and every single person who ever got their hands on one was this is the best truck, this is revolutionary for my small business, or my this is perfect for my life. And Ford was well, we're just following the consumers, and it turns out they just could never make any money on them. Which
Weird.
is why when we do the bailout thing again, we should just nationalize them. Ford should be like the USPS, and neither of them should be required to make a profit.
Yeah. Making leftists sign a pledge to not talk bad about the USPS no matter how fucked up it gets, because that's how the fascists win.
The USPS is only bad because of really stupid constraints put on it during the Bush years that we've never lifted. The USPS could be a perfectly functional agency if we did not make it comply with absolutely insane retirement funding that literally no other agency on the planet has to adhere by. Or if we just made it not run as a profit and ran it as like a service that is required for the functioning of a state. Nobody asks if the interstate highways make money.
No, they in fact lose money every single year.
But like ridiculously so. We subsidize like truck freight shipping in this country to the tune of billions of dollars, and everybody's fine with that. But the minute the post office is like, hey, so the hollowing out of the state is leaving us in a pretty precarious position because you force us to fund 75 years of our pensions in advance. They're like, well, I guess that's just proof that, you know, we have to collapse the administrative capacity of the state. I'm getting off topic.
As we are wont to do. I did read ahead to this quote from the Ram boss, and
yeah, can I read that one out?
Yeah, you sure can. I'm gonna go to the shapes place.
All right. Ram boss Tim Kuniskis said in a statement about the new police pursuit variant of the Ram 2500, quote, "When your job means running toward danger, not away from it, you don't have time to second guess your equipment. It has to be up to the task. The men and women who answer the call deserve a vehicle that can go anywhere, handle anything, and deliver when every second matters. That's exactly what this truck is built to do." Fart noise jerk off motion is how I ended that quote. Yes.
Yeah, I was doing it through that entire quote.
Is it too dark if I say this? If I question whether or not this means they will sell one of these to the Uvalde PD?
I was just thinking about Uvalde, Victoria. I was just thinking, when your job is idling out in front of a fucking elementary school where some guy is doing a fucking Call of Duty kill streak because our country is fundamentally broken, and this kind of violence has just been acceptable for 20 years. Yeah, when you need to sit there and sit in your truck and text your mom about how, like, I'm scared. Like, yeah, at least you're sitting in a Ram. Do you remember 2020? Do you remember 2020 when that team at Ford almost got them to discontinue the Police Explorer?
Yes, I do.
Like, again,
I remember it was discussed as a serious thing. Or semi-serious, at least.
2020 was not a good year to live through, and boy howdy, I sure cried a lot involuntarily that year in downtown Austin, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I just 6 years ago was so cool for a couple minutes there where I really thought some things were gonna happen. And now we're making, 3/4-ton trucks for cops to, like, I don't know, flip a mom in an old Civic because their tags are expired or whatever.
The Ram 2500 is kind of like the de facto news agency blind spot demonstrator. So think of, like, we're just equalizing the chance for every emergency department to get to vaporize, like, toddlers. That's not even funny. That's just depressing. It's just true. I hate pickup truck culture. I hate American police. I think I hate policing as a concept, the way that it's developed in kind of the West in general. Yes, this is the perfect nexus of everything that I started this podcast to bitch about. So I just had to share it. Tim Kuniskis is, I think, the funniest car industry executive, though. Because he's constantly like... whatever the slur is, it always sounds like he's about one sentence away from saying it.
He's the Eric Adams of car industry executives, where I'm just like, all right, what's Tim got to say today? Tim Kuniskis, I was about to say official resident of Albania now, or whatever. The Dodge Ram's amazing because one day you could be sitting in it and the other day you could look up and see 9/11 happen.
We've built the Ram 2500 to respond to 9/11, which could happen at any time in New York City.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that NYPD would love to get their hands on this thing, and I would love to see them attempt to navigate uptown in one of them. I guess they'd just park on the sidewalk. That's kind of what they do.
That is their pro move. I think about how maybe they could replace all the NYPD Ford Mach-E's that they all seem to hate. Because even though it's Mustang shaped, it's gay.
That's true. Well, it's electric and it's a crossover. So no, my most problematic opinion in the whole world, I think, is that the 80s California Highway Patrol Fox body pursuit vehicles were pretty cool, actually.
I mean, and I think it's really cool that all of the Italian companies keep giving Italian cops like a supercar every couple of years. Yeah. Well, the Italian one is like that Huracan that they gave them like back when the Huracan was new has like 250,000 miles on it because
they just drive that shit around.
It's what they use instead of like helicopters or aircraft to shuttle donor organs around. So there's Italian cops who I bet they're fucking so hot. Who's like,
I know.
My job, I drive Lamborghini real fast on Autostrada. Like, I deliver organs for kids. Like, I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll suck you off, man. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, sure. Doing my part.
We did it. We found the one cop that we'd allow to be the guest on this show. If your job is solely to shuttle organs in the Huracan, you don't do any other policing duties. That's just an EMT at that point. With, like, a blue paint job on your car.
Yeah. Lamborghini ambulance.
Lamborghini ambulance.
We're doing so good.
This episode is brought to you by a panic attack 2 hours ago.
You seem so together for a panic attack 2 hours ago.
I've got a lot of practice. Anyway, the segue that I had planned for this, which I'm doing a great job delivering here, is I was just going to go into the more detail about the insatiable American appetite for enormous trucks. Because Hyundai debuted a body-on-frame Toyota Land Cruiser, Nissan Path, the Boulder concept. The body-on-frame Boulder concept, which is basically all of those vehicles rolled into one. It's a big off-roader 4-door thing. It's got chunky styling. It's and I'm a pathological hater at this point, especially of anything the auto industry does, and especially of SUVs. That's actually like my life force is derived from mocking people who buy expensive SUVs. So I saw this and I was like, I don't even know if we're going to talk about it. This is just like, it's a concept truck. It doesn't really mean anything. Who knows if it'll come to market? It's chud square. It's vaguely interesting in that Hyundai thinks that there's enough of a market in chud squares to like tease one. But then I saw a picture of the interior.
Oh, it's hideous.
What? Really? I thought the interior kicked ass.
You are a plane fetishist, and it looks like an Airbus cabin.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It's got like the 4 little screens like lined up in a row, and you can change the like data readouts on it. So you can do like your inclinometer and like your compass. Theoretically you could do like more mundane stuff, but like for off-roading, that is actually kind of cool. Like all my favorite like JDM versions of like the Land Cruiser or whatever have like that little, dash mounted pod where it's got like your tilt sensor so that you can tell if you're like about to flip it off-roading. It's not like that useful because but also like it's cool. And then it's just got like huge, like all across the center console, like all through the center of the truck, it's just got these huge dials, and they do kind of look like trim tabs, honestly, in like an airplane. That is a fair cop.
It does look like you were trying to a truck that is just going terrain all the time because it's a truck. Like oh god, I
doing a jump and it gives you approaching minimums on the way back down.
Flaps 3, flaps 4. Oh God, it's such a bad clip. Did you see? Did you see that an Airbus got stuck looping the French word for braking?
Yes, I did.
That's
see that.
really bad. It's really bad.
They really should change that.
They really should change it.
Like they should really.
They
change
should really
that.
change that because they sound like the president. Like.
I was on Be Gay Solve Crimes this week,
Mm-hmm.
and we did Nancy Drew. And Nancy Drew, the 2007 movie, came out in 2007. So there's a scene in which one of the mean girls like walks into a party and just fully drops the R slur with no warning in a children's movie, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah. So no, we gotta. I don't like that it's coming back.
No.
I think that if you are a senatorial candidate, you shouldn't be saying it, especially not if you have a totem conf on your chest. I think that you just shouldn't say it at all. It's a bad word. I think Airbuses don't get a pass.
Airbus cannot say it. They say it too much.
Yes. Airbus, this isn't 2007. Please switch the word. It just makes us all uncomfortable.
Especially if you're those two pilots who it's just saying the R word at over and over and over again. And I know it's not what it means, but like, imagine if they had really bottled that landing too, and it's just... it should.
We can't do this anymore.
It should call out the word faggot instead. Because you can get a cheeseburger and fries for $2.95 at Fat Burger. Faggot.
I thought that the interior of this truck was cool because it was like all big and chunky. Like, remember the Ferrari Luce that we talked about in like episode 3 or 4 or something?
Which, sorry to disappoint you and all of our listeners, I think I've looked at it enough where I'm like, it's good. It's good.
No, see that the interior of that was like, oh, we gave it like machined aluminum touch points because it's got Joni Ive brain or Johnny Ive or what. I always do that. It's spelled Joni, man. But like this to me is like how you make like a combination of like actual physical touch points and digital interface. Fuck. Like it should have, Hyundai is it Hyundai that I'm thinking of, or is it, no, it's Kia. Kia does that thing where they have kind of like the split radio climate control tab in a bunch of their more modern cars. And it's so close to being good, but it still requires you to take your eyes off the road to use it. It looks cool, but then you use it and you're like, after a week of having a press car, you're like, if I ever touch this again, it's too soon. And then you realize it's in every single car they've got, and it is kind of like a huge Achilles. So the idea of like doing this where you could just set these up to be like, I want this to be climate, I want this to be, data readout, I want this to be radio, and then you never have to look and you can feel the detents would be so cool. Like that's ideally what you want from touch points. And the idea of making them like customizable is like, that's I think kind of the promise of a like digitally integrated cabin basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool. I don't know, I mean, that was just, I was trying very hard to not be a hater for once.
I know, and that's why
the positive,
and that's
one.
why I had to go. Actually, I think this thing's heinous because it like it does look. I know we talked about how China's car market does not just knock things off anymore. This looks like a straight like someone from Ford took a USB drive that had all of the documents about the old Bronco or the new Bronco and just handed it to Hyundai and was like, hey, can you file the serial numbers off of this just a little bit? I like also in its fake interior photos, because it's all just renderings. I like that it has it also has like the everything projected on the glass, which
I'm not a huge fan of HUDs.
They don't work. They've never worked.
They don't work. They're more annoying than they are helpful. If you're tall, especially, it's difficult to get them lined up right. If you drive when there's daylight, it can be tricky to see them.
They are useless during the day. I was behind the wheel of a C7 Corvette in Texas in the middle of the day. And the owner was like, did you use the heads-up display? And I was like, what heads-up display? And he's like, How are you seeing how fast you're going? I'm like, the fucking, like, the big dial in the center of the clutch. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's a heads-up display. And I'm like, my man, I was driving into the Texas sun in the middle of summer. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a cute fantasy we keep having that one day these HUDs will work.
Yeah. I mean, and the rest of the truck is, as we, kind of led with, sort of an off-road concept that is designed to convince the MAGA set that still has the money to buy new vehicles, which largely are just high-end SUVs, that they are like, real warfighters whose wives are actually still attracted to them. Because that is what, 2/3 of the SUV market caters to at this point.
The chudification of Hyundai by the coward United States auto market.
Yeah. The thing that was funny to me is, so I was like, why does Hyundai want to get into the body-on-frame market? This is not, like, something they've ever really indicated a desire to do. They've never really been Hyundai's got whatever the Palisade off-road trim is, but, like, Kia's been largely the one that's gotten more of the off-road stuff with, like, the X Pro, X Line, they've got some off-road in-house branding. I've driven a couple of them. I just literally don't remember. But they're all kind of like ATs and some plastic cladding on a crossover. They're like the most softcore you could get. It's basically like we're aiming for Subaru, not for like a real truck.
Do you go camping twice a year and you want to feel secure in going camping twice a year?
Yeah, I mean, there's an article I wrote, like, at the very beginning of my career, which is, oh my god, like 5 years ago now, where I was like, everybody is buying increasingly off-roader-focused trucks because they feel like society is coming apart, because COVID showed them that there is no social compact anymore. And I maintain that, like, every time an inch of ground clearance is added to a family crossover, it only further vindicates that belief. But anyway, I was just like, why, I looked up Bronco sales because I was like, is this a big market? Do you know how many of those they sold last year?
40,000?
146,007.
That includes the Bronco Sport, right? Like the little one?
I will double check
because
now.
I see so many
I don't think it does.
I see so many of the baby Bronco around. Like, I joke that Austin, Texas has, like, you could tell what was the new, like, Vogue.
That's Bronco Sport crazy. Is a separate category. I wanted to double check. They sold more Broncos. They sold more Broncos as of, like, November 2025 last year than they sold Bronco Sports.
Really? Was there like huge... Did they like finally like catch up with their waiting list last year or something? Because I also knew for the Bronco there was a huge wait for one.
There was. The thing is they sold 30,000 more of them last year than they have in any year prior. Despite the fact they are 4 years into this generation and they have not had any like refreshes or anything. They've changed like trims and stuff, but like... And I was like, okay, that's why. I mean, they're also... They still trail like Jeep with those numbers.
Yeah. Those do feel like gas prices will never go up, like kind of numbers.
You can get like the EcoBoost, which I think. I mean, the problem is it's a big brick you're driving down the freeway with like no wind tunnel dynamics.
I don't like it when you call me that.
God damn. That should be the title. Is the Ford Bronco a Passoid?
I like my apologies to our one German listener who did not find my Nürburgring we're sucking dick joke funny.
It will happen again.
It will happen again. German's a fundamentally unserious language, I'm sorry. But also you see what we deal with here in America. Like, we're not a fundamentally serious country either. Like, it's fine.
But yeah, that basically like doing big off-roaders that get terrible mileage is a money printer. So I guess that's why they're like, hey, we should get in on that money printer. And it's Hyundai, so if they ever did make a production version of it, it'd probably be pretty good because like Hyundai does make nice. They are one of the only automakers that is not completely fucking, shooting their foot off every single day.
They make pretty wonderful cars. Like, I don't remember the last time I was near a Hyundai Kia product and, like, it felt bad.
I do. The Genesis G70 was not a car that knew what it wanted out of life.
That came in real hot, though. You drove like a first model year one, right?
No,
Oh.
I drove a post refresh, and it was like, I don't think the marketers knew what to do with it. I don't think that the salespeople knew what to do with it. I don't think the designers fully got an idea of what they were doing with it. It was like positioned directly between the plushness of a Mercedes-Benz or Lexus and the sportiness of a BMW or Audi, and then satisfied neither constraint. I did get to track it though, which was cool.
Nice. I'm a big fan.
I did find out you couldn't turn off the traction control, so they wouldn't let me get the ass out, which made me really mad.
You understand that that's probably for the best, because there's a thin line between sliding one of those and, oops, I am now digging into the soft grass on the outside of the track, and I am going to dig in and flip.
Yeah, but like I can be trusted with sliding.
You can be trusted, yeah.
G7.
Hyundai
showing them my YouTube supercut of my like sliding around the skid pad at pit race 6 years ago in my Supra, to be like, no, I have the credentials. Don't worry, I can do it.
I'm you see Chris Harris videos? I'm not like that, but Hyundai's in such an interesting place, because I think before the Chinese EV ascent to supremacy over the market at large, I really felt like Hyundai Kia was like going to be the next like dominant force in the industry, because like their performance cars are good. The N-Line stuff, really good. Their EVs, quite good.
Yeah, the EV6 is my personal favorite still, I think that I've driven.
Their design
outside
language,
of like the Lucid Air, but that's like not a real car you could buy.
No. Did you see they got a new, speaking of Lucid, I didn't want to throw it in here, they got a new round of money and a new CEO, I think, again.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna keep funding. We canceled the line. We're about to pull the plug on LV Golf. The Saudis do still somehow want to keep funding Lucid. So, well,
I mean,
how many journalists can you put in that front?
Things? Jesus. Oh my god.
But like, Hyundai really seems to have it together. I'm waiting to see how this weekend's race goes. Listeners, for full disclosure, we're recording on Thursdays now instead of our usual Sundays. So I think we might be trailing a couple days on certain things that happen over weekends. But do you know Genesis is joining the World Endurance Championship this year?
No.
And do you know what they're competing with? It's a prototype. But it is a twin turbo V8, and you know where that twin turbo V8 comes from? Because it's not anywhere in their lineup.
I was gonna say no.
They mated two of their rally Hyundai 4-cylinder turbos. They mated them to make a V8.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hyundai's cooking. It sounds like a crazy rally car. It's pretty fucking cool.
So cool.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic to see how its debut weekend goes. But like, we'll see. We'll see. I'm never going to bet against them doing anything. And like, I'm sure if they build this thing, 1, it'll be good. 2, they might take it to Dakar or something crazy too. Like, like,
yeah, that'd be
they'll
awesome.
do something fun with it.
If we have that still.
Yeah. I mean, look, Dakar has been through way worse than the current moment, so I think we'll be fine.
That's true.
But, yeah. I'm sorry I can't join you on liking the interior though. But it's
fine. I just, that was my one thing that I was like, I'm actually optimistic about. This is cool. Give me big dials. My favorite interior of any car I've ever driven in my entire life, by like a large margin, was there's a really cool guy who let me drive his Delta Integrale Evo 1, which is just dial heaven. It's just bright yellow lettered dials in every direction throughout the cabin. It's very aircraft inspired. The watch I wear all the time is aircraft inspired.
Yeah.
It turns out that, like, that's a good way to present information. And because, like, airplanes need to be, quickly understandable at a glance, and you don't want to be, like, looking around for, like, the buttons you need when you got two engines out or whatever, like, they're designed that way for a reason. And, like, I think legibility and, quick access is great. And so anytime even the slightest hint of aviation-inspired design gets me frothing.
I mean, I was not immune to the toggle switches all over my Mini.
Yeah,
I think that's where I just want toggles for things. I just want to flip a thing up and down. I don't need, like, dials.
If I do get a car again, I'm totally, like, gonna put in a kill switch or something that is a cool, nice feeling machined toggle. Assuming I can still get those.
I mean, there are machines. You'll get one. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Like, actually, don't worry about it, kitten. It's
no,
fine.
I mean, what if everything's replaced by touchscreens? I've got to hit an iPad before I could start up my car name silenced for surprise.
I'm feeling the urge to buy some. I know I talked about them being not a true Mustang, and also Ford being a weird company. Do you know what's getting startlingly cheap?
Mach-E's?
Yeah,
I know.
That's a lot
There's
of
a
car.
couple that popped up on my block. That people have them, like, are running extension cords out of their apartment buildings into the street parking spots, which is how I know they're cheap. Because when you see people do that, that's like, oh, sort by cheapest made within the past 3 years. Because nobody wants to do that.
Used EVs are, listeners, if you have any amount of disposable income and you're panicking about how expensive gas is, used EVs are probably going to start going up if this thing keeps happening. This quagmire. Used EVs are the ticket.
I hear the Mach-E is actually quite decent. I have never driven one. I'm really sad because the only press event I ever missed out on that I really wanted to go to was they had the rally launch, the Mach-E rally, at Dirtfish, which is like 40 miles from where I live in Seattle. And I was like, you didn't even have to pay for plane fare. You didn't have to give me dinner or anything. I would have just come and hung out.
Yeah.
I just want to do Dirtfish really badly.
The girls do Dirtfish 2027.
Shit, yeah.
Oh my good god. Sorry, I just imagined you and I trying to rally drive, co-drive together. It would probably go great, or a nice...
Who would co-drive is the real question.
Which one of us gets less motion sick when we're not driving?
I don't really get motion sick, but I like driving.
Yeah, I do too. We can tag out on stages. It's fine.
No, I mean, I do well with automotive peril. I just do poorly with, like, existential stress about, like, paperwork and, planning. And
that's so fair. For me, I don't like being a passenger in a car on, like, the highway.
Oh.
But but then also, whenever there was a press event where they were like, do you want to sit side seat around Coda with, like, a race driver? I'd go like, yeah, sure. And then I'd let her... I would just be like, hey, I'm a really good passenger. You could do whatever. And I forget which one of the Mercedes factory GT drivers was just like, I've always wanted to drift through this. No one has ever let me drift all of Coda. Will you let me drift all of Coda with you in the passenger seat? And I'm like, yeah, sure, man. And he just goes, if they ask if I did this, no, I didn't. And then I just watch him do, like, the full traction control off and everything. And I was just like, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I got to ride side seat in the Honda Ridgeline Baja truck, as they just kind of, like, invented a course through the middle of the Salton Sea, more or less. The desert right outside it. And it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. I tried to write a story about it, but I couldn't find anywhere to land it. That was the beginning of the current present day moment. That was towards the end of my, like, last batch of freelancing, but it was cool as hell.
It's really cool that every website has a freelance budget of $5.
I know. I know. We just need the Trangirlismo magazine next.
look, I know we were joking about this over text the other day. I don't know how much I wasn't joking about it the other day over text. I the Chicago easel girlies have inspired me to go, actually, I think we could print something once or twice a year.
Yeah,
listeners, let us
cool,
know. I mean,
but...
yeah, if you'd buy the physical Trad Girlismo book twice a year or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you...
Anyway, I know what you should get for your next car.
If, ooh, you know my opinions about this particular bow tie brand, do you not?
I don't think I do. I'm so stunned by it that I feel like this could be good, you know?
Yeah, do you want to go into it, and then I'll go into my personal feelings about
sure, why
this
not?
particular pony?
So Automotive News cited an anonymous source at a major GM supplier that the Chevy Camaro is going to be real again. They're going to make a 7th generation one. And they're not doing like... They had talked a couple of years ago about doing an EV SUV crossover like the Mach-E that was bearing the name Camaro and sort of wearing the skin of the former Camaro nameplate, like the Sun, automotive version of the Sun in Psycho. They're doing the actual Camaro, like a sport coupe built on what they're guessing is going to be a modified version of the Alpha platform, so like a second Alpha, which is what it was on before. So the CT4 Blackwing was on. So the CT5V Blackwing is on. It's like a bona fide, actual good platform.
Going back, wasn't the Alpha Pro platform also like before they went to the CT branding? Wasn't it also just the ATS and CTS platform?
That's such a good question.
Because the CT5 and the CT4 are just the ATS and the CTS again, right?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yes. The Alpha platform was the CTS and ATS. You're correct.
Because I very briefly drove an ATS V many years ago.
Oh, and the Alpha 2 is the CT4 and CT5.
There we go. Yeah. The original Alpha platform fucking rocked. That was such a beautifully handling platform.
Apparently the Alpha 2 is great. I have literally never heard anyone say a negative word about the CT4 and 5V Blackwing, whatever.
Other than if you blow your
nothing but praise.
If you blow your Blackwing motor, good fucking luck getting a replacement. That is the only thing I hear.
I think that was the CT6.
It is, but they are also, when the CT5 and CT4 going away, apparently discontinuing the Blackwing engine entirely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
That's always been that's just a GM high performance weird niche product thing. But they're bringing back the Camaro apparently, along with a new Cadillac sedan and a Buick sedan.
I mean, this also lines up with the fact that Ford is trying... I think there are a bunch of people who were once a decade sedan buyers who bought in the early 2010s, and maybe they extended a little bit, and that are coming to the market and realizing they can't buy a fucking sedan, and they're just not buying a car because of it. Because Ford's talking about...
they're moving to Genesis or BMW or Audi.
Yeah, they're going like, oh, I used to buy a Ford Fusion or whatever, and now I guess I'm buying like the base 3 Series because that's the closest sedan I can buy because we fucked this market real royal.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's just crazy to me that like Buick getting a sedan.
Well, because the last Buick product that I was ever enticed by was their wagon.
Yeah, that was the Opal.
Yeah, that was actually an Opal.
The Buick Regal Tour X. The last one, I almost bought a Regal GS when I was at my first job because they were like 300 horsepower sleepers with massive Brembo brake packages, and like they were. I'm a sicko for a good sleeper car. But it's wild to me because like Buick. If you held a gun to my head and you were like, who is this for? I would be like, I don't know. The other thing that's confusing too, so I looked this up because I was like, maybe again, as with last week with Infinity, perhaps I am just not familiar. Maybe I don't know my current day automotive sales figures, but GM sold 5,616 CT4s last year and 16,561 CT5s in the US. In comparison, they sold 24,702 XT5s, which is just like the most generic, unremarkable Cadillac midsize crossover that they make. They sold, I don't know, 15,000 XT4s, which is an objectively like rancid vehicle. I've driven one and it was just like, I can't believe a car can be this bad in the year of our Lord. I guess that was 2023 or 4.
Everyone keeps going bad cars
like,
don't exist anymore, which means that even when something is bad now, it's like, oh my god, this is so bad.
Yeah. But it's just like, that's not really that many cars. They sold 31,028 Camaros in the last full year of production, which was 2023. So that's kind of a lot, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't really understand what GM is doing. And I think the thing is like, this is sort of my theory of mind for General Motors, as sort of an institution. There is 2/3 of the company that is, it's like sort of a many-headed hydra of accountants and designers who crank out vehicles that generally are quite bad. This is where you get things like the Blazer EV or the Hummer EV. Or the like the XT4, or like a Chevy Trax.
Ooh, good God.
Or the Malibu Max. Take your pick. Like this is kind of this is a bean counter led sort of initiative. It's where most of the company's like volume comes from. But then the other third of the company is just like sickos, and I mean that in like the most complimentary way. They make cars for us specifically, like the two of us. I feel like this. I drove the Colorado ZR2. Which is, I think, my favorite pickup truck that's ever existed. It's the coolest. It's like 300 horsepower from a Turbo 4, but it has objectively insane suspension. I did like full write-ups on this because I was obsessed with it. But it's the spool valve stuff. It's Multimatic. Yeah. It's from the same brand that makes stuff for the Aston Martin Vulcan and the Ford GT. And also they happen to put them on these $50,000 mass-produced Colorado mid-sized trucks. Genuinely an absurdly good vehicle. It's like the C8 Corvette. Also, apparently, a fantastic. Like, would you like to own a Ferrari for a tenth of the price?
Yeah. They bought 10 458s. They took them apart to the nut and washer and went, "How do we build this?" and throw a bow tie on it and like
for $70,000.
And again, say what you will about Corvette owners. And also, just like anyone buying that is a world-beating supercar for less than $100,000. And we'll get to it later. You can't get into a Carrera anymore for like less than 90. So you know,
no, it is very much like what the GTR tried to be in like 2006 is what the Corvette has consistently been since about 1963. And that's cool. Again, I love a deal. You're coming to me with the deal zone supercar. I'm all.
And yet you don't like our president. Curious, Victoria.
But like, so the question for me with this new Camaro, because like, and the most pertinent one here is apparently the final Camaro, especially like the ZL1. They just got everything right. Apparently, it was like pure bliss to drive. This is what I've heard. I see you making a face. You're making a face like a cat who just like it licked something bad.
I'm pulling the beep beep. Just tried to lick the white cheddar popcorn bag I have open, even though she tries it every single time and realizes she no like the white cheddar popcorn. She will make kitty stank face at it. I actually have no problem with how any of these Camaros have ever driven. It is purely, I think, being inside them is a hateful experience.
Yeah,
I don't have
fair.
huge hands, so I am the person doing the fucking Lego person hand grip to try to drive the Camaro. And also, you want to talk about the 2500 being the thing with blind spot? You cannot see behind you in a Camaro. You just can't. Like, maybe someone can, those little C-pillar windows or B-pillar windows, nothing. You could just black about. You could you could put blinders on in like anything else, and I think it would have as much visibility as a Camaro. But also the 2015 Z28, what a fucking car. I wish it was nice to be inside because oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
they build such cool things.
Yeah, and that's kind of, the scuttlebutt is that this is probably going to get the new LS6, which is the 409 cubic inch motor developed for the Corvette, which in the specs they have shown so far makes 535 horsepower. Which I know I rag about American car companies not getting in with the EV thing, but I will say 535 horsepower from a naturally aspirated V8 kicks ass. That's awesome. I'm sorry. The spirit of America has taken over my body. That's fantastic. That's also like 60 more horsepower, I think, 50 more horsepower than the current Mustang GT. So welcome back, Pony Car Wars?
I would love it because it does feel like...
Oh my god, it is the 60s. Uh-huh.
It does feel like Dodge has Dodge shot themselves in an alley. And the Charger and the Challenger are no longer real cars that need to be thought of in the pony car or muscle car segment at all. But like,
holy shit, it is the 60s. Yeah. We've got like a historically unpopular president. Mm-hmm. We're in a war that nobody wants and has no popular support. We have massive like civil rights like problems that are not being addressed by Congress. We're doing like Whitey on the Moon shit again with Artemis 2. Damn. Now we got Pony Car Wars. What's next? Don't actually like thinking about that. Richard Nixon?
Richard, by God, that's Dick Nixon's music. Genuinely, we would be in a much better place as a country if we had Richard Nixon's alive head in a jar, Futurama style, as our forever president. I think we'd just be doing better. Because you know the thing about Nixon? For every time he was drunk and wrong
and
racist and homophobic and anti-Semitic and all, we know. We almost got universal health care because of Richard Nixon being like slighted by a health insurance executive. Like we could piss him off in the right ways to get what we want, I think. Like
using Richard Nixon's oppositional defiance disorder to get ourselves to a functional society.
We all know those people in our life where we have to use their ODD for our own benefit. Yeah,
that's how I survived my 20s.
Yeah, it's how I survive most weekdays, is I've got to just Tai Chi people. I've got to fucking like use their own weight against them. And get through my day unabated. I would love the Camaro back because it does feel like the Mustang is like, I don't think anyone gives a shit about the current Mustang. Like I see them around.
I heard the Dark Horse is good, but like no, no.
And I heard the Dark Horse was bad. Yeah.
Then I guess it's a divisive, polarizing figure.
I hear the GTD is very good, but also that's a GT3.
It's a $400,000 Mustang.
That's a GT3 car with plates. Yeah. Like,
yeah, and it also still has a $40,000 EcoBoost interior in it.
That's the real thing. Where Jim, hey Jim, longtime Ford fan here. Hey buddy, one, you gotta shut up, man. Anytime someone asks you about the Chinese EVs, you flip-flop 14 times now. You just gotta shut up, dog. 2,
please stop going to the Oval Office, Jim. We're speaking to Jim Farley here, who obviously listens to our podcast. The CEO of Ford
Jimbo
is like, oh damn, new Gran Turismo just dropped.
Jimbo, what automaker CEO is the most likely to listen to this? It's whoever runs Morgan. It's whoever runs Morgan right
That's
now.
That's true, actually.
Oh god.
He should.
Sorry,
put a better interior in. The
I
Mustang
don't care if you sell a
GTD,
$500,000 Mustang. you cannot sell it with the same interior as the base one. You understand that, right? You understand that, like, there's a thing called materials. Piano black, don't cut it at $500,000 with options. Sorry, I was thinking about Morgan for too long, and then I was just thinking about she's so cool. I feel so bad that I'm blanking on her name in the moment. Cora, yeah. My brain was trying to say Cara, and I'm like, that's a different Californian woman who's cool. Cora's Morgan. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'll have to post a link to her Instagram so we can share it. It's cool as hell.
And also,
it is. I have a 72-hour timer from the minute my wheels touch down in Los Angeles before I go fully insane, because the pace and just general character of like the city just is basically incompatible with my personality. But I want to go back just to go like see it. It's like it's that cool.
It is the T-girls, a lot of us have very cool automobiles. A lot of us have no automobiles. She has the best car and also she's had a couple of the best T-girl cars, especially in the before times.
Yeah.
So we're all aspiring for that level of put together and cool.
Yeah,
that's a bad render of a Puro Sangue with a Camaro front bumper, huh?
Oh, the link on Motor
Yeah,
Trend?
I forgot I had that tab open for the how many years ago is this?
Well,
that was last
year. This is the original. This is the original, like, sort of, we're gonna make the Camaro SUV Mach-E discussion, and that's just a rendering that Motor Trend did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could.
I will link it.
And that's a Photoshop. That's not an. Hey, if you are part of editorial at a car magazine or website or whatever, and I see you AI generating a car render, I want you to perish. Don't stop it. Open Photoshop like a fucking adult. You don't even have to pay for it. Just pirate it like an adult. I don't know. I feel like the Camaro could come back. I feel like Chevy's been doing great stuff with the Corvette. Like, also, I just kind of miss. I feel like GM Performance is innovating, but the ways that they have been innovating lately are just make number bigger.
I mean, make number bigger, naturally aspirated is still cool.
That is still cool because that's like, there is like beautiful efficiency engineering happening there. That is actually like,
yeah,
because it's making that more power with less fuel, etc., etc.
I'm also just really excited for a Chevy Camaro to run like a 559 around the Nürburgring.
Sure,
and upset every single German auto manufacturer in the world. That again, I only get jingoistic when we embarrass German car companies. That's really
for sure. Like, that's why the Ford GT has been out of production for 5 years now as a road car, but
and it was still awesome.
Yeah, well, they've been selling that weird track only version that I swear they didn't even really announce to the press. That's how like for rich fucks it was, where it's just like, we actually don't even need to put out a press release because they're already sold. They're already all gone.
Yeah.
That thing doing the ring time was beautiful.
That I also, I mean, this is the same reason why I thought it was cool as hell. They took a cup car to Le Mans a few years back, and Jimmy Johnson was, barreling down on 488 Speciales with, his big ass Chevy Camaro stock car with an extra wing on it. It's just cool. I mean,
do you remember?
America is a deeply cursed place, but we do occasionally make really cool V8 powered vehicles. Even if my personal proclivities lean French.
Yeah, I've heard that about you. I'm thinking back to the Z28, and I was just like, the level of innovation of it still has a bow tie, but it's just completely hollow for air cooling reasons, and we called it the Chevy Flow Tie. Like, I'm like, that they were just doing things and coming up with clever ways to market it, and I'm just like, I want that. I want that level of pony war back.
You know what I'm really hoping for is, like, if we get a Buick sedan and we're also getting a 535 horsepower Corvette motor V8. What I'm hoping is that we achieve some sort of synthesis and get Roadmaster Wagon 2. A vehicle which will be sold directly to only me. But like would be awesome because I do love the Roadmaster Wagon. I mean, I just think that like that's sort of peak 90s GM for me. And putting a Corvette motor into a Buick wagon is the coolest thing you could do. It's actually fact.
It's pretty cool.
This isn't even an opinion of the show.
But
anyway, speaking of German automakers and making fun of them, I believe you have one for me.
Yeah, I just there were two bits of Porsche 911 news. A second bit of 911 news has hit the podcast. Porsche's very good at wringing blood from stones. They always have been. That's how they survived in the pre-Cayenne era. And now that the Cayenne and the Macan have both eaten shit and died in China, they're really trying to get... they're once again trying to reach new heights in their technological prowess at wringing money out of Rolex collectors who street park in Los Angeles. So, there's a new 911. Did you hear about it, Victoria?
No.
They have made...
I purposely avoid this information because it could harm me.
Yeah, well, I was stoned at 3 a.m. the other day because I can't sleep normal hours. So I watched a Chris Harris video about this one. They, for the first time ever, if you don't count the last gen Speedster, they're doing a GT3 convertible. Yay!
What?
It is a...
Aren't those diametrically opposed ethoses?
You would think. Yeah.
Why would you, like,
For
what?
the 2027 model year, the Porsche 911 GT3 SC, which that's a kick in the teeth to the sport classic community, is a stick shift convertible that will rev to 9,000 because it is basically a GT3 Touring, which was the serial numbers filed off version of the 911R from however many years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that car.
The GT3, which is all about, you know, cornering speed, structural rigidity, etc., etc. Yeah, anyways, they just put that driveline in a cabrio. It's fine. It's just a cabrio body. It is a...
That just seems silly.
Yeah, doesn't it? They are replacing some of the body panels with, you know, carbon fiber fenders, other door panels.
This isn't making it seem less stupid.
Yeah, it's basically, it really feels like as Porsche's sales are drying up and their model range for the future seems perilous. Because, you know, Audi is apparently committed to making that TT thing that was supposed to be
the EVTT.
The EVTT. Yeah. EVTT. That one's going to be a weird thing I just keep muttering to myself. EVTT. They're making that, I guess, regardless of the 718 EV range comes out.
Which may or may not be dead.
They still won't confirm.
Before we recorded this. Yeah.
It's Schrodinger's, like, Porsche models. Like, we all know they should be out. Like, we should have seen it at this point in the year already if it was making next year. But, like, when? The
GTA 6 of Porsche models.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so they are basically going through the parts bin to try to wring more money out of the people who fucking American Psycho style compare their 911 GT3 build sheets and then, I don't know, put all of their GT3 keys in a bowl. I don't know. Are Porsche owners even cool enough to still be swingers anymore?
It depends on the Porsche owner.
Yeah, but like, is a new GT3 owner gonna approach you at a bar to fuck his wife? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I generally tend to avoid 911 GT3 owners. I went with an auto journalist friend of mine, and friend of the former auto journalist Winter Tashlin. We went to the LeMay Museum in downtown Tacoma together, and we accidentally arrived during the first Porsche Club of the Pacific Northwest meetup of the year. And it was just like the Kill Bill klaxon just kept going off in my ears every time I walked. Like, I went to the edges and I was like, ooh, nice 914. That's cool. Or like, there were a couple of the like first gen water cooled GT3s, and that I was like, that's cool. Or not GT3s, whatever, the turbo.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was the car that was in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. And since I drove it when I was 10, that was awesome. Everything else, I was just like, these are a bunch of like Skittles colored cars with 4 digits on the Odo. And everybody I talked to there, which was not many people, but it was exclusively male, and it was exclusively people who wanted to tell me about how special their car was. I was like, oh yeah, I remember even the guy that I was talking to about like the water-cooled Porsche. I was like, this is so cool to me because I played a video game like this as a kid, and I remember, and it was like, yeah, let me tell you all about my personal history with this vehicle. Whatever you're saying, that you don't own a Porsche, so it doesn't sound like it matters. So I try to avoid it. If you own a 911 and you're cool, I apologize. I know I know some 911 owners. I'm friends with some of them. But
we approve of your lifestyle. We just don't understand. When I was a 944 owner, let me tell you, I was not a real Porsche owner in the eyes of many PCA members, including when I'm like, I'm paying dues to you, you assholes. Like, I don't know. But yeah, we are in the 992.2 generation, which is where we would think to maybe be seeing like some of those last gas special models as we get ready to move on to the 99. Can't call it the 993. Huh.
Why not?
Well, because there's already been a 993.
I don't understand how Porsche model codes work, and at this point, I'm too afraid to
I don't
ask.
think they truly get it, because it used to make somewhat sense, and then we went to the 991, and then we were like, oh, okay, that makes sense. 992, sure. And then immediately we were all like, oh, the 993 was from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 30 years ago.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. And by we'll, I mean, like, I guess a bunch of German men in a boardroom will figure it out, which that's sure to be a delight. But, like, I guess we're just not doing a speedster this generation, or they seem to be saying that we're not doing a true speedster, and they just decided to use this cabrio as, like, it's the best of both worlds. You don't have to fiddle with, like, the speedster top. You just get to, like, push a button and your top goes down. To which I say, we didn't want to spend the money to develop a new speedster, and this was far cheaper, and we can sell it for... Do you want to know what this car starts at, Victoria?
Sure. I couldn't guess because I don't even know.
$250,000 for
Wow.
a 911. For a 911.
That's okay. So the thing about 911s, right, that's crazy to me is that, like, when I was younger, and this is kind of the mental image of Porsche that I have retained, a 911 was a car you bought if you did quite well for yourself, but it was still not the same kind of category of vehicle as a, like, Ferrari or even like a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Right? Like the 911 was kind of, the 911 was the German answer to the Corvette, in that it was kind of like, hey, would you like to kick those guys' asses for like a more reasonable amount of money and a really nicely engineered car that actually won't break down or catch fire? And so the fact now that like 911s cost anywhere from, I don't know, what do they start at? Like $100,000?
I have all of the 911 models pulled up right now for this express purpose. Okay. Do you know what a base Carrera starts at now?
No.
$135,000.
Holy shit. Are you serious?
I also I could have sworn you could still get into a base Carrera for less than 100K. But not only am I wrong, I'm wrong by like a Nissan Versa.
That's like 2 C8 Corvettes.
It's almost and it's not 2 C8 Corvettes worth of car, I don't think. Like, they're still quite special.
I don't know.
But like,
I never drove. They're normal. I mean, this is the thing, right? Is it like when your price range and your model range is like, we're going to flood the market with these, and we're going to make as many as we can, and they range from $140,000, I guess, to, you know, $1 million or whatever. I don't know what the top end is. They just kind of all blend together, and they become cumulatively less special to me. And that's what I don't get, is that, like, in the same way, like, I'm not a big watch fan. You know, like, I know basically 2 kinds of watches that rich people have. Omega Speedmasters, which are cool as shit. I would actually, that would be my, like, oh, I did well in life, I'm gonna get an Omega Speedmaster because it's the moon watch. And then every variant of Rolex, which my understanding of, like, Rolex culture is you buy a Rolex so you can buy more Rolexes. And then you can impress other Rolex guys with how cool your Rolex is. And that's what 911s feel like. You're not buying it as, like, a statement to the broader world. It is so you can, like, stunt at the PCA meeting in front of the Peterson Museum.
Yeah, it's...
Or not Peterson, well, they probably do one at the Peterson, too. But the LeMay.
And it does feel like they are still, especially on the GT end of things, really leaning on, like, motorsports heritage and everything. But a big component of Porsche's story up until, like, when the GT3 became the car of tech bros who did very well, who want to track drive. Like, Porsche was kind of the underdog. Porsche was kind of the plucky Germans who did things a little bit differently. And now it's like, oh, no. Actually, they're just as annoying as Ferrari. And, like, you're fighting for
Yes. If not more so at this point.
You used to be able to just go to Porsche and order whatever car you want. And now it's like, it's just the Ferrari game where you've got to, like, buy a used
you gotta buy 2 cars first to get the one you actually want.
And it's just...
Gotcha as a model for exotic car sales needs to die.
It also just goes to show how little money actually matters past a certain point, because it's like, what does a 911 Turbo start at right now? A 911 Turbo starts at $270,000.
Oh my god!
And, like,
are you serious?
Yes, yeah. Starts at.
Well, shit, that makes the GT3 Cabrio sound like a steal.
But that's the crazy part where none of the numbers for these make sense, because they all assume that you're going to spend 6 digits on options. Like,
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, you gotta get the paint to sample, because, like, what are you gonna do? Show up to the PCA meeting like an asshole with a standard
Guards
color?
red, you mean one of the most classic standard colors of all time? Yeah, I guess that's for poor dipshits who can't afford a PTS. Like, I used to think a GT3 was so cool, and now they're just like, look, would I turn down a GT3 Touring? No, because I want 3 pedals, rear engine, flat 6. Like, duh, I'm not immune to wanting that. It's just, at this point, I have gone from, wow, if I do really well, I can afford a 911 that I want to. Who do I know has to die for me to receive enough money to rent one on Turo? Like, I don't know. I'm never, like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, my family's, like, basically all dead. There's no way. I'm already out of contention. I can't even... And the thing is, like, I would be the kind of, like, in a different generation, in a different life... I would be the kind of person you would target with the Boxster and the Cayman, because, again, next to the GTR on my bedroom wall, I had a poster of the Boxster, like, driving on some winding Alpine road. And I was like, this is cool. This is, like, it was an accessible sort of dream car, and everything I hear about the 718 was that it was amazing.
It was.
And now it's gone. And you can't get that anymore, and maybe will never be one again.
Who knows?
It's unclear.
Like...
and it's just like again, I'm going to refer to the article I referred to last week that Matt Farrow wrote about how there is nothing for normal people anymore. if you would like to aspire to things, like this is, I guess, kind of the crux of what drives me batshit insane all the time, as like specifically an American, is that like I was raised by people who I would describe as having a Protestant work ethic, and that meshes very well with sort of the American conception of how your life should go. You work your ass off. You give up all of the things that would come to you in any advanced normal society. Like, you deal with the Faustian bargain of healthcare, being tied to your job, and you give up your free weekends, and you work 60 hours a week, and you work your way up to a point where it's like, okay, well, sure. There's a lot of stuff you have to give up in life to succeed in America, but then eventually you get to your 2.5 kids and your, picket fence house, and you buy yourself a Porsche or a Cadillac or, insert luxurious car you've dreamt about since you were a kid. I mean, my God, that was like the 9/11's entire advertising strategy. They had that ad in the 90s that was like, because nobody ever like had a Mitsubishi on their bedroom wall with the 911 Turbo. Like, it was entirely an aspirational thing. And like, obviously that has always been kind of a myth, but enough people got through to the next level that the myth continued to propagate, because there were just enough people who were like upwardly mobile that the entire promise of America still kind of looked like it wasn't a complete lie. And we've just given up on that. That's like, not only are we like, no, class mobility isn't real. You're fucked. You're born poor. You're gonna die that way. But also the lies that they sold you they're not even trying. It's so frustrating. And the 911 is a perfect example of that to me. But go on with how much these things cost. I'm curious now.
I have a little game for you in a second. But I just want to finish this off with like, my wife and I are doing better than we ever have, which is crazy because, with the way the economy is, like, it's really weird for 2 trans women to be doing this well. Yeah. And granted, my personal bit of that, shaky as fuck right now. But like, my wife...
No, in the interest of journalistic integrity, we've got both ends of the K-shaped recovery on this podcast.
And which is why it's just like, I take far less of the Patreon money than Victoria does, because I just want to fully disclose that they don't think they're giving money to someone who does not need it. Our money is making sure Victoria goes to rent, and then I spend that money on either like stuff for my art or whatever. And also I might be losing my day job at some point, which will... That's it.
Yeah, then we'll
I need to. There's an amount of money that I would like to replace for my household, so I can keep paying my share of the mortgage. But like,
yes,
we're doing better than most of our friends, and even then, I look at where my parents were at their like this point in their lives, and it's just it's still just not as good. Like it's. But even then, it's like, what would be a really nice car for us? We're looking at used BRZs. Like, we're not even knocking on, like, used 911s or whatever, even though I guess...
Oh, my God,
like,
no.
Yeah, like, I just... a 911 should not be that much, and I guess they've just been able to get away with it because so many people do have this much money. And, like...
Yeah, that's like This is ultimately kind of like what all of the modern-day economic discourse comes down to, which is that, like... We have, if you are a member of the 911 class, if you know what allocations your dealer has, you are doing so well. And if you are not, then like you're probably doing pretty badly. And that's kind of like, and it turns out that the line for that is drawn differently depending on who you ask.
But lies, damn lies, and statistics.
The fact that a turbo is $270K is very
that is a full $100,000 more than I thought a turbo started at. And I still have the affection for the high end part of the market because I can't help myself. But there's one more piece of 911 news that kind of ties into, we're the 718, and were those good cars? Do you know what Porsche is having to test out and try to homologate right now? For their racing efforts, they don't have a platform to go GT4 racing anymore. Because that's what the Cayman GT4 was for.
Yes. Also an amazing
So,
car.
do you know what popped up at the Nürburgring a little bit ago? A 911 that is being homologated down to GT4 spec. By Porsche's factory racing partner Manthey. They're building it. Wow, you went to the Shapes place. Look at you. Yeah. The fucking like. They had 2 generations of GT4 Cayman that were so successful at racing. What was their plan for going electric with the 7? Were they going to do an electric GT4? That wasn't going to work. Not with like current racing exercises.
Well, they were going to do a gas version too.
Sure, yeah. But I guess now that's like...
But that's also in limbo, I think, because it was supposed to be like kind of the Charger EV situation where it had a gas motor and an electric drivetrain. It's unclear from what I can tell. And I don't think they like talking about it very much because it's kind of embarrassing.
And that's like...
We've had 7 years to work on this. Oops, we still don't even have a car to show you.
That's, I guess, where I'm at, where it's like Porsche feels embarrassed. They had the boss of the GT division at Weizsack just sitting down with like Chris Harris and Henry Catchpole and all the British auto journalists who still get invited to things. And they were just like, it felt... The SC launch felt more defensive than I've ever heard them. And that's just, that plus having to like, yes, we have this. No, the 911 is for GT3 racing, and our top class, GT4. Do you want a GT4? Hey, customer racing fans, you need a GT4, buddy? We'll make you a GT4. Like, it's just so embarrassing. Well, the car is still quite good. And speaking of quite good, Victoria, I've got a little game for you. The 911 is known for having, there's one for everyone. And by there's one for everyone, I mean there's one for every millionaire out there.
Yes.
Victoria, how many variants of the 992.2 are there right now?
Oh my god. Well... Are we?
I will.
We've got this new SC. We've got the GT3. We have the whatever the GT3 Touring is. The Turbo regular. So I guess that's a Carrera. Carrera 4.
Carrera 4.
Are we counting that separately? Are we counting the regular Cabrio?
Yes,
Carrera?
I am just doing based on pure how many models they are selling. There's one that I won't count because it's a special edition that is already completely gone. You've hit 7 of them and you're a third of the way there.
What?
Yeah, I'm just gonna... I don't want to just let you die here. Okay. There is the Carrera.
Where do you get another 14 of these?
There's the base Carrera. There is the Carrera T. There's the Carrera S.
Oh, shit.
There's the Carrera 4S. Yes. There's the Carrera GTS. There's the Carrera 4 GTS.
What's the Carrera GTS?
The GTS has like...
Sorry,
the
just
GTS
keep going.
is above it's above the S, but it's still not a full turbo. You know what I mean? Even though they are all turbocharged. It's stupid. Everything's stupid. We got the Cabrio. We got the T Cabrio. We got the S Cabrio. We got the 4S Cabrio. We got the GTS Cabrio. We got the GTS Cabrio 4. You got the 4 Targa. You got the 4S Targa. Will they only sell you a Targa in all-wheel drive at this point? That seems silly. Then you've got the 911 GT3. You've got the GT3 with touring package. You got the Turbo S because there's no base turbo right now on the website. And then you got the Turbo S Cab. And then you got the SC. And that, they're selling something called the Spirit 70 right now, which looks to just be a GTS Cabrio with some ugly gold wheels. And they're also selling an FA Porsche GT3 Touring, which I do believe is a tribute to Ferdinand, which is a man whose Wikipedia page is like the Wehrmacht, completely clean, I guess. But yeah, I just...
Oh,
and also,
my God.
like, yeah, that's just the models. Don't ask me which ones have the turbo engine. Don't ask me which ones are hybrid at this point, because that's what they've also started to make hybrid 911s.
This is insane. This
has always been the insane.
This is Funko Pops for rich people. This is we've added more variants so you can collect them all.
And it's like, all right, how many of the base ones do you need to get the privilege of spending money on a GT1? Like, I
mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. After this little explainer, I think my hatred for Porsche has deepened.
I think mine has too, and I still deeply dream of being I would love a 4S at some point. Probably not a new one, but like, it's...
The thing is, if like 930s were still like $15,000, that'd be awesome.
I mean,
they're not.
I just keep looking at good 997s and going, well. But this is why we're an Aston Martin podcast, because Aston Martin makes, 5 cars, and they're all varying levels of confusing? Like, come on.
Yeah, and they also they depreciate.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's the new aspirational, like, if I do really well in life, I'm going to pick up a 15-year-old Vantage. Which, honestly, that's fine.
That's what cool. I have BDD special report Jordan depreciation watch. Alfa Romeo 4Cs continue to plummet. That's good news for moi and my brokenness. Do you remember that Maserati launched a new supercar a couple years ago, the MC20?
Yeah,
those are dropping actually. Like fucking stones.
Do you know why I remember that? Do you know why I remember that? Is because I think they still have a new 2024 model in the showroom of the Alfa Romeo Ferrari Maserati dealership that is inexplicably still in Capitol Hill in Seattle. And so I used to walk past it like every day.
God.
And I kind of go and check on them every so often.
Like me petting the Mustang in the Ross Park Mall and trying to like shove a Cinnabon in its air intake. Like, come on, buddy, you gotta eat something.
Well, the thing that's funny is that like they actually are kind of interesting because they've got customer parking out front, and there's just an ever rotating cast of Giulia Quadrifoglios through there, presumably because they
because they're deeply broken.
But it is always kind of like ooh, that's really good looking.
Again, I want a quadrifolio. Do I understand that is an act of self-harm? Yeah, but like, what, am I gonna start smoking cigarettes again? No. I'm gonna buy it.
I think with an Alfa Romeo, you have to.
I think, you open the glove box and there's a fresh pack of Marlboro Reds in there for you. Yeah.
I don't know Italian cigarettes well enough. French cars come with a pack of
the cigarette.
I don't know what Italian
Italy is hoarding the cigarettes that are good for you, and we must go there. God. Yeah, Victoria, that's I like throwing weird rich people shit in our show notes because it's the stupid part of the market that I feel like is just as infuriating as the low end of the market right now. But also it's because like Porsche doesn't know what they're doing. It's part of the bigger Volkswagen problem where like other than selling to rich fucks in California, all of these companies are doomed.
Yeah, no, it is. It would bring me great pleasure if card-carrying Nazis car company did encounter such significant problems that it,
I don't even want that. I want the Porsche of 15 years ago back. Like, I
think it'd be cool if they made a Boxster again.
If they made a Boxster
that's
again,
gay.
Like I dream of.
What they should do, what I would like them to do is make a Boxster again, but make it not have the IMS bearing problem so that I can get one used 20 years from now without worrying that the motor is going to grenade itself in a $10,000 fashion at random.
The thing about the $10,000 Boxster market is, right now, is I think all of them that would have died at this point. I feel like you're only left with Boxsters that are like
but
true
I need to
survivors.
do better. Yeah. I don't know. I think the real crux of it is that just like Porsche was never my kind of like dream car of choice. And so it's just like now that they have gotten to a point where they are like genuinely supercar priced, because like in my head a supercar costs $250,000, which isn't true because like they cost $400,000 or $500,000 now. But again, like outflation has outstripped my imagination. So
I mean,
it's just confusing.
There was a really
me.
annoying circular firing squad of discourse on Blue Sky this last week about, like, is the economy actually that bad, or do people just not understand numbers? And the answer is, no one alive has ever been able to understand inflation, because when you become an adult and prices are one thing, when it's your formative adult years, those numbers, like, bake into your mind. It's why everyone's grandparents were freaking the fuck out about a 12-pack of Coke being $5, because they were buying 1,000 Cokes for $5 or whatever. Like,
yeah. Well, and also, again, it literally comes down to which side of the K are you on. If you are on the upper end of the K recovery, you're like, you probably are actually quite comfortable. If you're on the bottom end of it, food prices and rent are killing you.
If I was not married to a woman in tech who is doing quite well for herself, I am actually making less. I am making less money per hour than I have in since 2018 when I took a job at the toy store because freelancing was over and I was trying not to like lose it. Like,
yeah. Well, this of course dovetails neatly into the other part of this, which is if you are a cishet white guy, you are actually doing quite well. The economy is doing fantastic for you. If you are literally anybody else, it's doing very poorly. Your economic prospects are very bad, especially if you're like, a trans person or like a black woman. The economy is basically at Great Depression levels, and it turns out that like, people who are not cishet white guys are overrepresented on like, bluesky.com. So that I think is also driving a decent amount of the economics of vibes. I also don't get why people are like, oh, it's a vibe session. It's like, we have numbers. It's not good. Again, I refer you back to the chart I put in the show notes last episode, which is the price of Jet A has doubled in 2 months.
We're not...
I refuse to get... I've said my part. That's my take on it. Is the economy's good if you're really rich, and the economy sucks if you're poor.
It does.
And I'm right.
And as someone who is still used to being poor, it still feels bad. Because I mostly spend my own money. Like, my wife and I obviously share like, whatever. We're shared a household. But, like, when I'm spending my own money on shit, I go, damn, I put $35 worth of gas in our car today. It did not fill it. And let me tell you, that feels bad. The PS5 is $900! I know it's like, I know the economy is not just little treats. And also, like, I'm so glad many people feel my rant and understand where I'm coming from, because I'm not Treatler. Oh, Bert. Oh, little Bert baby man getting held. You two are very similar animals in that both of you have deep worry in your eyes at all times.
Yeah, Bert really does take after his mom in that regard, and that he is just constantly concerned and really doesn't know what to do about it.
And Beep Beep's just like her mama, in that she's a blue-eyed nightmare who screams. But yeah, Vicky, I think that's an episode. I think
it's probably an episode.
I kind of liked just being able to do new car bullshit. It was a nice change of pace because, like, I don't know, I feel like we need it. And also, like, what other podcast is going to tell you about What other podcast is going to find out in real time how expensive a new 911 is?
Well, there's a thing that we do now.
Yes,
at the end
please,
of the
please, please.
Let me go to the correct tab. And open up all of our members who get their names read out at the end. You can just cut this part out because I didn't have it pulled up.
I'm leaving it in. I'm leaving you to die, and I'm leaving you to
come
die
on,
in this
don't embarrass me.
The
Please,
people need to know what they're paying for, and it's this.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Are we
I
ready?
think so.
I'm going to. All right. I would like to give a special thank you to our listeners who are in our $15 tier, which is the Vicky shoutout tier, Help Me Pay Rent, which does help me pay rent and has helped with my stress. Thank you immensely. It is also the Help Jordan buy a Pentax tier for the bit.
Unfortunately, I think I have been convinced due to hard data on the max resolution of half frame that actually what I should do is I have a real Pentax. I have an ME. I should just buy a K1000 and then just keep spending money in the Pentax lens. Pentax lenses?
Yes,
the same
correct.
to this very day. Thank you, Raiko.
Yeah. But yes, thank you. I'm gonna the names are thank you to Stephen Duckworth. Thank you to Phelan. Thank you to Mildly Perturbed. Which is a great name. Thank you to Asherin. Thanks Chris Hepner. Jerry at homogameragenda.com. Still love that. Thank you to Dexus and Will. Thank you to Princess Reese, promises not to bark at loud noises. Thank you to, and you said you were going to change your name every week, so you're slipping on this one, and I will give you shit for it, because you keep making me say this.
We're recording far earlier in the week than we normally do. I am going to give them, I'm going to give them,
I got you. No, I'm taking the win here. I, Victoria Scott, love Porsches and hate trains.
What an episode to keep it for, though, huh?
Thank you to Nathaniel Hubble, and Wingsmith, and penile-sparing vaginoplasty. Thank you to Gadrianne Lenker, Finn Springs, Gavin Gaddis, Crystal Storm, John Russell, Josh J, and Selectric. Thank you all deeply for being the premium subscribers. You get all of the same stuff that the people who pay less do, but you get the sense of superiority of me reading.
Yeah, you get to hear us react in real time to you. You could change your Patreon name to whatever. I don't think there's like a hard character limit either. Like I think you could just go nuts.
Please do not make me read more than maybe 500 characters though. Because we do need to end the episodes in a somewhat timely fashion, or people will throw up their eyebrows when they see 6 2-hour episodes in a row.
Victoria, I'm gonna just let the our dear Stella has handed off the reins of the vast majority of our editing to moi. So if the next couple episodes maybe don't sound as crisp, it is because I am practicing my craft and I am getting there. And also, thank you, thanks Nate for letting us play the Shapes Place song at the end of the last episode.
Yeah!
In full disclosure, on this past Wednesday morning at 12:30 my time, I get a text from Victoria that goes, "Hey, did you mean to loop the Shapes Place song for 45 minutes at the end of the episode?" And that's when I realized I can't edit drunk anymore. So, dear listeners, you will have a sober edited podcast. Looking forward to it. April bonus should be up by the time you're hearing this. Shirts and sticker orders are going to be closed by the time you hear this. So I hope everyone...
I'll talk about it.
Yeah. I hope everyone got a chance to get shirts, and I think we'll have stickers left over, but yeah.
The stickers will be up on the store for a while, just because we just ordered a quantity and we still have some. The shirts are made to order, and then I have to ship all of them, so I have to go to our supplier.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everybody for ordering them. I hope that they should be very comfortable shirts. I'm actually desperately excited
Me
to
too.
get one.
I'm really
Um,
excited, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a bunch of fun stuff for the rest of the year if we can keep our energy up and keep having things to look forward to. So, thanks everyone for
yeah,
listening, and we will see you next week.